You might think recreational anglers don't have much say in what sort of research is being done on our fisheries. But for the last few years, a team of experts called Recfishing Research have been working on your behalf to make sure that recreational fishers have a say, and they've come up with some great results. Recfishing Research is made up of all sorts of experts, from scientists and economists to people from the charter industry and, of course, the recreational fishing groups. Their goal is to help scientific researchers develop vital projects and give advice to the government's Fisheries Research and Development Corporation on which projects to fund. One of their big achievements so far is to help the survival rate of some of our favourite species.
In the last 5 to 10 years, we have in fact had lots of research done on the bread and butter species like bream, whiting, flathead, tailor, snapper. That's been a real boon, and in some ways Recfishing Research can take some of the credit for that by fostering research on things like the survival of released fish. We now know that high percentages of those species that I just mentioned do survive after being let go if they're handled carefully. Gently does it was the term used. If the right hooks are used so that they're not hooked deep, they're just hooked in the side of the mouth.
Their next step is to push for better research on pelagic game fish and tropical species like coral trout and red emperor.
Well done, champion!
Another goal is to collect accurate info on how many people go fishing and what we catch. The last National Fishing Survey was done way back in 2001, when it was found that 3.36 million Aussies over 5 years go fishing. Since then, there's been a few statewide surveys, but no one's put together the national numbers.
Recfishing Research is very interested in aggregating that sort of information, pulling together the statistics from those smaller scale surveys into a bigger picture so that we can compare what's going on today to what was going on in 2001. Are there more people fishing, less people? Are they catching more or less fish? What's the impact of recreational fishing? And equally importantly, what's the economics? Is the recreational fishing industry growing, declining?
One vital area of research is how much effect recreational fishing has on our fish populations.
This is an age-old question, and most of the surveys on how many fish are being caught by recreational anglers have that as part of their aim. But it was seen by key stakeholders to still be a very important area to get better handle on the recreational fishing component of the total catch.
Now, we all know fishing makes you feel good. But Recfishing Research wants to learn more about how fishing can improve your health and well-being, and also how it can benefit our communities. The big challenge is taking all the scientific jargon and making it easy to understand and easy to access.
It's got a very useful website that disseminates a large amount of information on the results of many research projects that are done around the country in universities. You can look up the website and find reports in PDF form that you can download. It disseminates information from government to do with regulations and management of recreational fishing.
Yeah, that's a good fish.
It's all about opening the lines of communication between we fishers and our hard-working Aussie scientists, so we all know what's going on.
And I'm happy to say that FRDC has in fact funded the activities of Recfishing Research for the next few years, and that's a good thing for recreational fishing because there's lots of work still to be done, lots of priority areas that have been identified, and hopefully funding is tight, but by really focusing on the key areas, then that funding can be directed where it's most needed for recreational fishing in the future.